Good afternoon.
Welcome to the show. That's on. We're on. Oh, wow.
In the afternoon.
We're on in the afternoon.
In the afternoon.
I'm looking at my notes like, okay, cool. We got DJ Natural in here today. Very excited. He made an appearance on the morning show this morning, which was awesome. I didn't know he was here. I heard like rustling around in the studio. I'm
the
like,
second time I heard it, you said something.
I'm like, who's back? Is somebody back there? And then I see like the hand come up with the tattoos and stuff. And I'm like, that's DJ Natural.
As usual.
DJ Natural.
He's right at home.
Natural. In the booth.
That's right, man.
DJ Natural. The interview's out here this afternoon.
Yeah. Let me see what his camera is. Boom. Nope, that's not him. That's not him. Oh, no, that's Rick. There he is! DJ Natural in the building.
Yes.
We're going to talk to DJ Natural here in just a couple of minutes. But first I want to shout out our sponsors of the show. Of course, Bozard Ford. Bozard Ford Lincoln, more than just a dealership. Family-owned beacon of trust here in St. Augustine. And they're doing their From America for America program right now where you can get exclusive employee pricing on their new vehicles. And not just the prices that like their detailers get or their car salesmen get, it's the prices that their executives get when they buy a Ford.
Big dogs.
I know, right? The big dogs. So it's a great opportunity for you to go down and get a new truck. They got some beautiful trucks down there, or cars, of course. And if you've got a vehicle you want to trade in, they're going to give you top dollar right now because they are actively searching for used vehicles on their lot.
Nice.
Yeah.
You take mine over there.
Yeah, right. There you go.
Real deal.
There you go. The Bozard Ford Lincoln right off 95 and State Road 16. Pillars of our community. We love them. Check them out for your next car purchase.
Or restaurant activities if you're eating.
Or restaurant
Ford's
activities
Garage.
at Ford's Garage, which is also awesome. And the Bailey Group are great folks. Mark Bailey, a guy we've played basketball with since we were teenagers.
Yeah, awesome
man.
Guy.
Yeah, man.
For sure.
And if you need some peace of mind, if his company is there for you. Life is full of these unexpected moments, man. And whether it's securing your family's future, protecting your business, planning for individual wealth, the Bailey Group is here to guide you every step of the way. Local company, 1954 is when they started. And just great folks. Great folks. 904-461-1800. Had a great interview with Tammy earlier this week.
Yeah, that was awesome.
That was a lot of fun.
She's cool.
Yeah, really cool.
Real human being.
Yeah, man. All right. So our guest today, the world famous, the one, the only. That's right. We didn't have the horns today, but we can do them ourselves.
I'll just be the air horn.
There you go. DJ Natural, what's up, brother? How are you today?
Man? How you guys doing?
Doing good, man. Doing good.
Coming in, bro.
Thanks for having me in the studio this morning, man.
Yeah, dude. Good
honored.
to see you. Bro, so tell me, because we were talking before the show, just kind of about, there's my camera. I am not used to these
Don't go to
buttons
my
right
camera
here.
right now. I'm not doing it.
All right. Yeah. We just got to find one camera to keep it on. Hopefully it's just natural most of the time. We were talking before the show. You guys have been real close for a long time. I know DJ Natural through, our first show, we were talking.
Yep.
Our first big show that we did was a Classic Blends production with DJ Natural and DJ Hugh.
They did the flyer. They promoted it with us. They DJ'd it. It was a collaborative effort for sure.
Yeah. But Natural, where did you kind of get your start? Where did you get the bug for DJing?
I got the bug for DJing probably first when I was watching DJ Jazzy Jeff with Will Smith. And it wasn't like the thing you saw on MTV. It was like one of their concert show tapes. And it showed a little segment of Jazzy Jeff doing the I want to rock, I want to rock, I want to rock. And he was just doing this routine. And I was like, oh, that's crazy. And then, so I think that might have been a spark of like, I want to do scratching. It wasn't really DJing at the time. I just wanted to scratch. I wanted to, how can I make that record? I want to rock. How can I do this? So it took a while. I never really, turntables were expensive.
Yeah. How old were you back then?
Oh gosh, 13, 14,
okay.
I think. Turntables were real expensive. And, later on down the road, my cousin had acquired a pair of turntables.
Nice.
And you know, we were just scratch maniacs. That's all we wanted to do. We just wanted to scratch. We wasn't thinking about blending records and rocking parties. There was something unique with that sound.
It is.
And just, you could take this one sound and manipulate it 1,000 different ways. And it was like, I got to learn the whole code of this. Like, I got to learn everything. So I really mapped myself into just scratching. And going over to my cousin's house, you know, DJ Non Live, shout out, gotcha. I used to go to his house and just be there watching him. And he could only do like 2 or 3 things, but they were so dope.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, how does he? Oh, so
was this in Jack's Beach?
This was in Mayport, Atlantic Beach.
Okay.
It just, I think he lived over at the time. Oh gosh, I can't even remember, man. Pardon me. It might have been Arlington or something, but in Jacksonville.
Is that where you grew up, Jacksonville?
I grew up in Mayport.
Okay.
In Atlantic Beach, in Jack's Beach's area.
Yeah.
So I would stand there and just wait my turn, man.
Yeah.
And my cousin was new into it too, so he didn't want to give up that turntable too much.
Never.
So I'd be there like,
Fingers to cramp up and shit. Like,
I'm like waking up. I'm going to bed. Like, oh, it's my turn. And I was putting in my
He
time.
wakes back up.
And so it kind of just went like that for a while. You know, and like I was young too, and in my neighborhood, I was getting in trouble and doing stupid stuff, and it swayed me. I wouldn't even say I had a dream of doing it yet.
Really?
I think when I got a little older, probably mid-20s, I had a moment of clarity where I'm like, what am I good at, man?
Yeah.
You know, I'm trying to bounce from job to job, restaurant to restaurant. I don't want to cook food.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what am I good at? And I've always had a knowledge for music. I grew up, you know, buying the record, opening up the sleeve, reading everybody involved.
Yeah. Okay.
If there was lyrics, I was like, yes.
I loved getting lyrics, right? When there were lyrics included, it was like, yes.
Cassette tapes.
It was it's this whole nostalgia of like, you know, especially when you buy like a vinyl 12-inch album. Yeah. Because the artwork was always crazy. And then you turn around that back, or even when you pulled out the record, sometimes they have a poster in there.
A little slider.
And so that was the whole unique experience. And kids, people watching this now, only the older ones are going to know what I'm talking about.
Right.
Because there's no kids now buying a CD, putting it in.
There's no physical music.
Sitting in front of their speaker.
Right.
You know, kicking back, opening the sleeve. Oh, what song is this?
Yeah. Looking at the cool pictures they took. Like
it
was a whole experience.
It was a whole
Master
experience.
P had stuff for sale in it. Like, next album's coming out.
Dude,
like,
now see, Master P changed the game.
He was
because
innovative.
he turned us all into like fiends because he was like, oh, you can see the next 16 albums coming out.
All the covers.
It's like, oh, I'm gonna get that one. Who's this dude? And then, like, you would
Covers were a big deal.
You would hear the dude rapping on one of his features. So you're like, oh,
that's
he's gonna be
Mr. Servon. Boom. Yeah. Exactly.
It was, it was so cool, man. Yeah, man. It was so cool. And so I grew up in that era of like, you know, collecting music, and like I asked myself, what am I good at? And I'm thinking, you know, I have this really fond memory and good memory of music, whether it's country, all genres of music. And so when I moved to St. Augustine and linked up with certain people that were actually making money off of doing DJing, then I started to rethink. I'm like, oh man, this scratching stuff's not it. Like,
okay.
You know, like I can't get in front of a crowd of girls and scratch for 3 hours.
Okay,
It's just not cool.
Yeah.
And so I had like this little chip on my shoulder, like, you know, I've been putting a lot of years into practicing this, but it's totally irrelevant now. It's like, it's not even.
So it felt like starting from scratch.
Scratch. Literally starting from scratch.
Right.
Because now I'm meeting with people who are turning this into a business, or they're at least making some money off of it. I'm like, I never even thought of that.
Right.
That's awesome.
Because it was pure love for me. It was like, you know, when I got my own turntables, and it was later in life, but when I got my own turntables, dude, I didn't come out of the house.
Yeah.
And like, even when you guys was coming over to 2nd Street and I had to set up
in
there,
the back,
dude, morning, noon, and night, Is that I just breathe music.
Yeah.
Well, I felt like that. Not that you bogarted him, but I felt like I was sitting there waiting to get on these things too. And he's over there doing his thing.
Yeah.
And he generosity, whatever the word is, let me do it and showed me it. And now saying that story, I could tell someone did you the same because that's how. And I've never DJ'd since that night.
Right.
It was just he let me do it, and I can switch back and forth the song, and it was dope. So it was like I got that little bug in me too.
Yeah, it was just
being around it.
You know, and it's DJs that were able to start DJing when we were still doing records and there was record stores and mom and pop shops with records and CDs. If they're still doing it today, they're truly rooted in the game, you know, and that's why, you know, maybe seeing guys do controllers or dance more than they're DJing, it kind of upsets DJs because we never saw this coming. We always thought to be a DJ, you really had to love it.
Yeah.
Because, you know, when people come and say, oh, you know, you're just a DJ, here, do it.
Yeah.
Right.
Give it a shot.
You just play the songs and give
it a shot. Make it sound good.
And there are some DJs that do hit play and stand back, but the ones that know what they're doing and blend music and set the vibe for a party
That's an artist.
Slow it down.
Yes.
Go grab a drink, turn it back up, come back out.
Well, a big part of it is the crowd, right? I mean, keeping the crowd into it, keeping the energy. I mean, that's what you're there for, is to keep the energy. And not everybody can do that. No. Not everybody can control a crowd.
It's not. It's a hard thing to do. And like I said, you know, growing up scratching all the time, learning how to do the mixing allowed, you know, criticism and people's opinions to start flowing in. So it's like, you know, oh, he's a DJ, but he's not that good a DJ. Or, you know, he's not ready yet. You ain't ready. You know, I'll let you do 30 minutes, but not 2 hours.
Yeah.
You know? And so I think when I moved out here, it was what was the place downtown? All Stars.
All Stars.
Yeah.
You remember All Stars? Yeah.
So I'm here. I'm just a city boy from Duval, right?
Yeah.
And I'm living downtown. My good friends helped build the St. George Street Inn.
Nice.
Okay.
Right downtown, and so I was kind of, you know, involved in some crazy stuff in Jacksonville, and I wanted to get away, and they offered me a job to come help with the hotel.
Nice.
So at night there was nothing to do. There's nothing to do downtown, especially back then.
Yeah.
I'm just lurking around trying to find somebody to talk to. You know?
For sure.
And I get down to All Stars, and I hear the music pumping out of there, and I go upstairs, and it's A-Bear.
Nice.
A-Bear's upstairs DJing, and we just immediately clicked because he was DJing records, but I heard him doing a couple of little things.
Yeah,
I'm like,
okay,
I recognize that. Yeah.
My tribe's here.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome.
I made my way over to him and introduced myself to him. And then, you know, things started to progress. I started to show up there on Thursday nights. I think that was the night, Thursday.
I think it was too.
And I would show up there, be posted up in the corner, listening to what he's playing, watching people react.
Reactions, good or bad.
And then I would go home and put it
Put
to
a mix together, yes.
Yeah, and I would try to put something together to where I like, you know, I'm going to invite him over one day and, you know, show him what I can do.
Yeah.
And maybe this is the guy that'll help me get at least a gig or something.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You know, that never happened.
No.
And it never happened just because he was so, you know, consumed in whatever he was doing.
He was on his own
and
mission.
it wasn't like he was hating like, oh, you ain't gonna get a turn up here, but
Yeah.
it just never happened. I ended up leaking up with ATM,
Yep.
and that's when it started
Live
happening.
wire.
I remember
Right.
ATM. Yeah.
That's shout out to Aaron
Shout
Mabry.
out.
Yeah,
Aaron,
man.
bro. Is he still around? He's up north,
He's
right?
up in Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago, playing tennis
Still
or
teaching
Okay.
tennis.
Yeah,
Good
he was
dude.
raw at tennis.
Solid dude.
Aaron
Yeah.
ATM is always super solid, dude.
Yeah.
And you know, to be honest, ATM kind of changed a lot of things, and it's a cool story how that happened. I moved into the not condos, but like the duplexes behind that Kmart shopping center where Turtles used to be.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I moved right behind there, right? And so I'm still a loner. I've only been in St. Augustine a few years, so I only know a few people. And I'm going to that Turtles, and they got all these albums.
Yeah. They used
And
to
I'm
have
like,
good
they got
selection.
records.
Yep.
So I'm digging through the records, and he works there. So he comes over, was like, "Yo, man, you know."
ATM did?
Yeah, ATM worked there.
Okay.
And he saw me. I'm mob deep down. I got
and you look like this New
Timberland
York
boots
swag,
on.
like,
Yeah.
DJ guy.
Yeah.
So you don't look like you're from Florida.
Right. So
Right.
he comes up to me and he's like,
But that's
"Hey,
his style too.
It is.
what's up, man? My name's Aaron, man. You know, anything you want, just let me know. I got you." And I didn't know what that meant yet. So I'm just like, "All right, thanks, man." You know, keep looking through stuff. And then he come over to me and be like, "Hey, man, you know, the new whatever's out. Go ahead, here, take that, man. That's for free." And I'm like, "Okay, cool."
All right.
So,
Most definitely.
you know, I would come in there and look up albums, and I'd be buying 10 albums. He charged me for 5.
That's awesome.
Or something, you know. And so I'm like, you know, hanging out, and we're chiefing and smoking, and now we're kind of, you know, creating this relationship. And I finally go to his house, and he's got all this music from Turtles.
I bet.
He's got the stash.
Twice of everything he gave you.
And he's got turntables. He's got turntables.
Yeah.
So I'm
Was
like,
this the house down there off Watson or whatever
yeah,
it was?
yeah.
Yep.
So I'm like, yo, this is it. This guy's kind of in the lane I'm in. He's doing the music. So we started forming Classic Blends. We had all these, and how Classic Blends formed was,
well, tell me. I'm curious about the name too.
the record store, the Turtles record store was closing.
Right.
And when they were closing, they opened another store
across the way.
Right, and they were
In the
selling
same
all
plaza.
their old
I remember
stock.
that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
By Kmart.
Yeah.
And nobody was in there buying the albums. So the owner tells Aaron, he's like, "Look, man, I want to get rid of everything. You know, we'll sell them for a penny a piece."
Sheesh.
And so we're like, we want to buy everything
course.
you have.
Yeah.
Resell them, use them,
Yeah.
whatever.
And so we started buying all these records, and we're like, "Yo, we're gonna find us a spot, and we're gonna open a spot,
mini
and
record store,
we're gonna do
mom
our
and
own
pops.
record store because they're closing."
Right.
So like, let's get this now, buy all their records. And when they close, we'll open a little store, and we'll have DJs inside the store.
Did you guys end up doing this?
That's what Classic Blends was supposed to be.
Okay.
But, you know, sometimes things don't work out the way we want it.
Absolutely. And for the good most of
And
the
there
time.
was a lot of ideas. Like you were about to ask, where did Classic Blends come from?
Yeah.
That was the name that I come up with.
Okay.
Me and Aaron. And we were kind of shopping names around and seeing what stuck. And Classic Blends was it just made sense.
It's a hard name, dude.
It's like, it's going to be a record store. So,
Okay.
And blends is the mix. So classic blends.
Okay.
Yeah.
and so then we, you know, Aaron's good friend was DJ Hugh. Shout out
DJ
DJ
every
Hugh,
time.
legend here in town.
Oh yeah, man.
Sir.
And you know, they were doing stuff. Hugh was doing the design stuff.
Yeah.
So
He's a genius too, dude. You gotta give him his flowers too.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah, bro.
So we go to Hugh and we're like, "Yo, you know, we're gonna start this thing. We're gonna start this record store." He's a DJ, so he's all in.
Yes.
He's like, "Oh, this."
And
is
he's
gonna
one of them guys like us that when he's all in, he's all in.
He starts designing the fist and the star.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think just through like our three minds coming together.
And what about Jesse? Didn't Soldier have some
Or
stuff to do with this?
Jesse's gonna
He's
come
coming
in.
in. Okay.
He's
I
coming.
didn't get too far ahead.
He's coming.
Yes, sir.
Shout out
Can't forget
Soldier Green.
either.
That's right. Yeah.
Classic.
So we find this little spot right next to what is it? It's the tattoo shop on West
True?
King Street. Stay True
Is it
Tattoo.
Yeah, Travis.
Right next door was
he's good
Classic
people.
Blends.
Mhm.
And it was like this guy was renting and it wasn't even. Now it's like the back room.
Yeah, it was just your storefront.
It was
Yes.
just that front,
Literally,
no bathroom,
like
nothing.
10
Yeah.
feet in by 20 feet, maybe.
$400
Yeah.
$400 a month.
Yeah.
He's like $400 a month. We're like, oh, it's on.
yeah.
Just like how you guys got paid on your first gig.
Right.
This is kind of how we were. Like,
Right.
we got a store.
We're professionals now.
And
Yeah.
we didn't like West King Street was like that was the place
It
to
was
be.
popping.
Yeah.
Because that was when they were kind of building the city and kind of wanting people to start coming over.
Getting out of Overtown. Yeah,
and
they were
cleaning
kind of
it
pushing
out,
out
so-
Lincolnville. Yes.
We put some records in there, I think for like a week or something. And it just, you know, nobody came. Plus we were young. We wasn't trying to be there.
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
He got his job. Even if it is my job.
Yeah, like we're hanging out at Flagler College and
Well, you guys were throwing a lot of parties for Flagler
we were
back
doing
then. It was the
yeah,
pool
we were
parties
doing
and there was
the
a ton-
midnight breakfast and the pool parties.
tons of
Okay.
stuff.
So that's when the Classic Blend started to evolve because, you know, Hugh is alumni
Right.
and Aaron's alumni. And well, I think Aaron's also taught tennis there too.
Oh, dope.
So he was a teacher there. And we're like, let's think about this Classic Blends thing a little bit differently. Let's do, we have all these artists at Flagler College. Let's start recruiting some artists.
Yeah, tap in.
Kids who have a lot of followers. Mm-hmm. And this is before
social media,
Instagram, all that.
For sure.
But we're thinking like, who's the popular artist?
Yeah, in town.
We're going to put their work, and they're also coming up. So they're not used to people going, hey, we want to put you in a studio for a month. No. We want to put your work on the wall for a month. That was awesome. We started going and talking to talented students, and we would host their artwork on the wall for the month, and we would do the art walks. Mm-hmm. And that was huge.
There was nothing like that back then.
It was
either.
huge.
Right? You created that market.
It was huge.
That whole road.
And so people would come out for the art walk, and we figured out a way to incorporate the DJ stuff with it. We had to put our dream on the back burner, and let the art paint the picture for us. Really, you know what I mean? And so the artists would have their thing. They'd invite all their friends. Mm-hmm. We'd be over in the corner DJing.
Yeah.
People start drinking wine, having a good time. Who are these guys?
Yeah. That's the formula right
there. We're at so-and-so
this
Fusion on Wednesday night.
We're on the island. What was it? Papagayos or whatever?
Papagayos. Wherever it was, we were like, we're White Line. And that was how we were able to capture the audience, or like who's who at Flagler College at least. Right. Because, you got like a 4-year, 5-year window at Flagler College. So even though they're young, they're going to be 21, 22.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So we invested in them. And I think that's what kind of made us rooted in the community as far as being accepted by the art side of the community and the music and the venue owners and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. It's like, they're not just DJs, they're actually put my cousin's art up on the wall for a weekend. And I own this, so we're inviting them in.
You did that to everybody and for everybody.
Yeah.
Musically, us included, or just anybody that had anything dope going on. You were like, how can we make this?
We wanted to work with everybody.
You were the hub.
We did. We wanted to work with everybody. We didn't want to, we were so used to having that wall up.
Yeah.
So we didn't want to be the guys to put the wall up
for anybody else.
And we would go, hey man, we'll design your CD cover for you.
Yeah, no, it was a one-stop shop.
Yeah, it's like
I should have come to you before I started my boy band. You could have given me a much better CD cover than the World with a Sword, bro. Yeah,
you would have been famous.
We'd have put you on that leather couch. But yeah, man. So. Classic Blends is the community name that made us, activate being involved in art and music,
culture,
and design and everything. I mean, we've helped people build their businesses up. Mm-hmm. We've watched people lose their businesses, with us trying to help them, give them all our constructive ideas and our wins and our loses. We've always tried to offer that extension to people here in town because we know it's hard. Mm-hmm. And it's still hard for me, bro. Like, even I'm DJ natural, but I still have to knock down doors.
Absolutely.
And I still have to not take no for an answer. Mm-hmm. And sometimes I have to boss up.
Absolutely.
Sometimes that's like, I know more than you. Shut up and listen.
Yeah. Or we don't need to do business together. Right. And that's fine too.
And you only take as much as you can give. In a business like DJing, people, it's so saturated now. People aren't trying to listen to a DJ tell them how a room should be set up inside their venue.
Right. Yeah.
They don't want to be told that, this is a great space, but if you move it around a little bit better, it'll be more tailored to what we're doing. People, it's their concept. So you coming in as a DJ, you're just a DJ.
You're just a soundtrack. Play my music and let me
figure out the rest. But I'm not just a DJ.
Right.
I'm not just a DJ because when your money starts going up because I'm here, now what am I?
Yeah.
Am I still just a DJ? Right. Or am I kind of like your partner a little bit?
Right.
Because we're working on something and we're building it together.
Collaboration.
And I'm just trying to sprinkle a little salt on the steak. I don't want to.
I'm not taking your menu over.
I ain't trying to cook it. I'm just trying to.
And I've been here and done this, and I've seen this 100 times, and I know where you're going to shortfall, and I know where you're going to succeed.
Right. And the rise, as a DJ, I want to see everybody here in St. Augustine succeed. But I don't want to see you succeed by tearing other people down.
Absolutely.
Right.
Because it tears us all down in the end.
And sometimes
and you look the worst.
And it's
after
like,
all
you know,
of it,
I help you get there, you know, or I offer my services to try to build something up. And then you go and put a iPod on because you can't afford me.
Yes.
Well, you just killed everything we're trying to do.
Back the next time or two.
It's like, you know, what are we doing? We're trying to work together and build something. It's not an iPod kind of party.
Yeah.
You know,
life isn't an iPod party anymore. You used to be able to rock the jukebox 20 years ago, but things evolve and our attention span's not there. And the
attention span is short on people.
DJ can make your night a long night or a quick night.
Yeah.
And it goes back to that crowd control.
It does.
It goes back to knowing how to keep people in the right mood, put people in the right mood.
And oops, I did mess that song up. Now I'm on here. That's okay to be wrong.
It's like a samurai skill too. It's like,
dude, I bet.
Yeah, you're walking a thin line.
Right. Sometimes, you know, when you're DJing and you're trying to be that person who's tailoring the party. And I was telling you this earlier, 1,000 people could be having a good time. One person's going to come up and say, this sucks.
Yeah.
Play something I can dance to. Thousands of people are
dancing. Right. Everybody else is dancing. Yeah.
And it's like, you have your opinion, but why do you got to come up and tell it to me?
Yeah.
While I'm trying to do this, why do you got to be
element? Yeah.
And like, so the energy level goes.
Yeah, yours
for you personally.
Plummets.
I just knew before you came and told me you hate this, I already had the next 10 songs in my brain lined up.
Yeah.
The minute you got in my ear and
now
said,
I'm questioning all
I don't
of
even
them.
know what I'm about to play now. Because I'm so like, why can't I please this person?
Right. And it's always that. It's always that. And we spend too much, you know, having a career on the internet. For me, that's the comment section, right?
Right.
And it's like, there could be 500 people saying,
love you,
great
nailed
job,
it.
I love you, this is so cool, this is so funny. And that one person,
you're like, oh,
that one
Red
person
doesn't look good on you. You're like,
right. Oh, really? I can never wear this shirt again. And people got to stop focusing on those small percentage of negativity and focus on the bigger picture. But that's hard to do in the moment.
It is.
It's hard for everybody to do in the moment.
Energy-filled moment.
Yeah.
So it's like, you know, like you were saying earlier, you know, when you guys first came out and hearing people go 904, that energy you felt right there is something I've been holding on to for 20-something years.
Forever. And it's almost empty, but I still got a piece of it. And then someone goes, fuck 904. And you're like, no.
And it's like, that's it. Or when somebody walks over and drops $100 in your tip bucket. And it's like, okay, this person really appreciates what I'm doing. Yeah. This ain't like no foo-foo stuff like Spotify where it's like, oh, you played my song. Yeah. This person came over and was like, yo, I've been sitting over there for 4 hours with my wife and we had an amazing time tonight. Yeah. Here's $100.
Yes.
Dude, that's what I do it for.
That's awesome.
It could have been $2. It's just the comment. The comment's like, we came here tonight to have dinner. We didn't know there was going to be a DJ.
You're
awesome.
In you.
You took me back to high school tonight. Here's $2. Cool. Like, not worried about that.
How you feel. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I want to do.
And that's what it's all about for me.
What was your first paid gig, and what was that feeling like for you? Good question, do you remember?
Oh, man. Yeah, I do remember. And it was that, I can't remember the church. It was actually a perk gig.
Nice.
It was a perk gig.
I wanted to shout perk out here, too.
It was Perk and Mont, and they were doing, I think it was a New Year's gig, and it was at one of the old churches downtown. And Perky got locked up right before the party happened.
Damn.
Oh.
And so I get the call. You know, we get the call. It was like the whole Classic Blends team got the call.
The red phone rings.
So
right.
we throw the backpack on. And Mott's like, you know, Perk's locked up. You know, we're going to do a free perk, but we're going to turn this thing into a free perk party tonight.
Sir.
Okay.
So we need you guys to come DJ. And so,
and Perk, just by the way, he's a local guy.
Yeah.
DJs his own thing.
Yeah.
I would say on the same level as you. I salute him. Started a bunch of the things in St. Augustine.
Local legend for
sure.
sure.
Local hero.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I look up to him.
And so, you know, we made a little bit of money off of that. And I was like, oh, you know, this is cool. And I was still in the, I was kind of still in the realm of watching Hugh and Aaron make money. I'm like, I had done locked myself in a room and learned scratching for years. Now I've been locking myself in a room and learning how to rock a party. and incorporate the scratching. And see, that's what kind of created this,
molded you into who you are,
right? Because like Hugh's a dope. Hugh is a crazy mixer, but he
he don't scratch.
He doesn't scratch. No. It wasn't his part of his main objective in being a DJ. He
started from the other side of what you did.
Right. So when I was able to start DJing and cutting, it was like,
good real quick.
This dude's
this
dude's pretty nasty.
He's saucy.
Right.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And so that kind of made this whole thing of who DJ Natural is now. Like I started out with this vision of never being
anything
in the music business for sure. Yeah. It's like I just want to make fire sounds with this record.
Yeah.
To like transition into, this is a business. I think I went the first year I went without working a regular job. I was like, I'm doing it.
Right.
Like,
right.
I'm doing
Yeah.
this. Yeah. I get to be at home with my kids every day. I don't have to go work for the man.
But see, this is what people don't realize about like initial success, right? You thought I'm successful.
Yeah.
People think you reach this certain level and it's like you're unlocking a thing in a video game, right? And you're never going to go back to level 1. You're at level 2 now forever. And that's what the outside sees, right? But they don't see the fact that, no, to stay at level 2 and to move to level 3, I have to work harder.
You gotta work level
I got to
5.
put in more work.
Very
I got to be DJing at 10 more places every single week.
Yeah,
it's more
you
for me to do.
stay relevant. You have to stay.
You're not just, we're not celebrities.
Beat 'em over the head with yourself.
You don't have one hit movie and then you're set for life.
Right.
This is, you reach a certain level and then you have to work your ass off to stay there and to get to the next level.
Right? Yeah, and I mean, we're all kind of a testament to that in our own ways, in our own ways.
Absolutely.
But you know, working with the guys here in town and kind of helping me with that transition, it was, it was part of God's plan. It was part of something bigger than I could even probably put in words today. I just know that my life was going down a real wrong path to a point where maybe I asked myself that question, or maybe it was like God going, hey, let me ask you a question. You know what I'm saying? And so music took me out of that path. I think if I wouldn't have like cracked down on wanting to do scratching, I'd probably be
distracted by a lot of other things.
I probably might not be here. I might be in trouble or locked away.
Yeah.
So, going back to working a whole year and getting paid off of DJing, that was really opened me up to like, I'm getting these blessings from God. Like God's showing me like, you can go out there and get it doing what you love
anything
versus waking up, doing what you hate every day.
Yeah.
All you have to do.
Bad.
And, people say it all the time, like, follow your dreams, kids. If you have it, don't let nobody tell you that you can't do something. That's absolutely 100% true.
But there's also no game plan for following your dreams.
There isn't.
There's no rule book. There's no textbook. There's no formula.
The real thing is that you got to believe in yourself.
Yeah.
You got to believe in yourself wholeheartedly, and even if you doubt yourself even 5%, you could lose it all.
Even if you don't believe yourself, or you do or you don't, you're right.
Yeah,
no matter what, you're right. If you don't believe in yourself, you're right, and if you do, you're right.
Yeah,
so
because you are your worst critic, and you can also, listen to those little negative voices or those things that be like, is it worth it, or don't, should I do it? Don't listen to any of that. Go with your heart. And go with the feeling, because the feeling is the ride.
It is.
Yeah.
Like that energy, that's the ride. It's like
such a great thing.
It might take a year before I get back to that energy level again, but
run it.
Sorry, I'm going to run it
until you don't feel it anymore.
I'm going to run it out until I can't run it out no more.
And it's okay to fail.
If I'm 70,
stumble. Just try it.
Yeah, if I'm 70 years old and I still get that feeling, I'm going to still chase it at 70.
You should.
Right.
Right. Like, who's going to tell me you're too old to DJ?
Yeah.
I'm not too old to listen to music.
The audience is going to tell you, and as long as you've got the crowd.
And and you love it. It's like
you do it for yourself.
I have 2 kids, and I can't get them to love this for anything.
Really?
And it's like, I've already opened the door. Like, you can just take my stuff.
Your
and you
youngest
can go be
is named
successful.
after equipment of the dang stuff.
And it's like, they're not drawn to that. And it kind of upsets me on one side because I'm like, I work so hard. I want them to experience what I've experienced. But
you just hit on it though, because you said you work so hard. I've met one of your sons.
Right.
That boy's a hard worker.
He is.
That boy will put in the work.
He is.
You send him on a mission.
Shout out Noah.
Shout out Noah and Rain, bro.
Yeah.
Hustlers. That's my nephews right there, bro.
Yeah,
But you send your kids on a mission, they accomplish the mission. They're hard workers.
They do. And they Noah puts in, he's really out to impress Dad. Noah used to come work with us over at Mojo's when he was like 8. Okay. He'd be in there like, you guys are making money. Yeah.
He was like
washing
wiping stuff
windows
down and would bus tables and bring the food to the people.
One day he made like $50 in tips.
Dude, you were doing the trivia nights. You were doing trivia.
It was the sweetest thing too, is he made that money and it was right around Father's Day. And I think he was like 7. And on Father's Day, he's like, Dad, I want to take you to McDonald's this morning and buy you some breakfast. I'm like, oh, look at you trying to be
He's the real.
Was that like a proud dad moment for you?
It was huge. Yeah, it was huge. Proud. Because,
And shout out you real quick. I don't mean to cut you off, but he was at work because you are a single father providing for your kids at work, working. We didn't have a babysitter.
Nope.
Joey was awesome enough to be like, let him come there. As long as he's out the way.
Joey.
Shout out Joey and Mojo's every time, always holding it down.
Yeah.
He's that type of dude. He's going to bring his kid to work. He doesn't have his kids working with him because he wants to be an entrepreneurial dad. He has to.
Yeah.
These kids learn on the job stuff because there's no other choice.
Yeah. I want the job, but there might be some nights where I have my little dude with me.
Yeah.
I lost a lot of jobs here in town because of that, being a single father. It's like, hey, I just, I have to be there for them first.
Yeah.
And that kind of goes back to what I was saying about them not taking into the DJing thing. I'm there for them no matter what path they take. I wish it would be something I'm doing, but, I also have started a new lane with photo booth business in the wedding circuit.
Okay.
And my son Noah's taken to that.
He has.
He's very charismatic. And now I'm like, I'm a little older. Yes, I'm a DJ. Yes, I hang out with people all the time and party with people. But I don't really like to do it. Like, I don't like to be that. Hey,
I understand that.
Take a picture.
I understand that.
We're chilling.
But I love it. I wouldn't have invested in the business.
Right.
It's just, when I'm doing it, I feel like I could be doing so much more than just standing there taking pictures with people.
Yeah.
So I've kind of put the reins with him, and he's doing so good with it.
That's awesome.
I think it was 2 weeks ago. He met like an NFL football player at one of the weddings.
Yeah, I saw that.
It was his first wedding doing it on his own. So I went there, dropped him off. He set everything up. And he ended up, meeting the Super Bowl champion.
Dude,
and
come
he hits me up and he's like, Dad, you won't believe who's here. And I'm like, yeah, right. And then I get there and I'm like, and and he loves it. And seeing that, how he lights up, and so I'm like, maybe he's not gonna be a DJ, but I'll let him
gonna control the party though.
He's still gonna work the photo booth there. But it's something that he loves to do, and I'm all for that. I've always been for that. I want people that are around me or that inspire me to do what they are good at.
Yeah, it makes them happy too.
And bring it out of them. Even if I see it in you sometimes, I'll try to pull it out of you.
Right.
Like, I know you. Come on, man. Beat, go get on stage. You got the golden boy voice. Don't let me talk to these people.
You can do this. For sure.
So you've seen some pretty wild success from that, starting in just a art/record store to DJing for some of the most major acts on the planet.
It's pretty crazy.
Talk to me about some of your most memorable people that you've worked with, some of the experiences on tours you've been on. Because people, you're going to blow people's minds.
Yeah, he really is too, dude.
First name, probably and it wasn't my first big artist, but Wu-Tang Clan.
I mean, that's the top of the mountain, bro.
When we did Paper Route, and we had Wu there at Paper Route for the after show, it was hype because a lot of people first didn't even believe it.
Right.
Like, yo, we're going to have Wu at the after party. I'm going to be DJing. Oh, what? You DJ?
Right.
Or Wu?
Yeah, right.
Those two words, DJing you in the Wu-Tang.
Not happening.
No. You can't even make a sentence up.
Shout out to Greg at Paper Route because he unlocked that opportunity for me.
He's a good dude. I like Greg.
He called and was like, the moment you've DJed all these years for this very thing I'm about to tell you. And it was like, we're doing the Woo here at Paper Route. So I could have died that night.
Right?
I could have
and life would have felt complete.
Yeah, every bit of it, because I'm a huge fan. And not only did I meet them, but my son, who we were talking about earlier, was actually there that night.
I saw the picture.
Nice.
And they clung to him.
Yeah.
It was the weirdest thing, but cool at the same time.
Right.
Because he was going around and asking if they wanted drinks and if they
get them tips.
Yeah, he was just trying to be helpful, and he was also big up, and he's like, "That's my dad over there DJing right now," and like, "Oh, okay, word, you know." So he ended up meeting like You God, and got real close with him, and was like, buddy, kind of play fighting around and around the venue, and so at the end of the night when I was leaving, they were all saying bye to my son. And I'm like, how did this happen? All right, DJ. He just learned 2 songs on the way here. I know the whole line.
I know you guys. Right. I die for you.
But I didn't treat it like that fanboy type of thing, too. Like, I had them all chilling in the DJ booth and like, yo, play Rakim, and I was playing stuff for them. But I didn't have like that fanboy moment and give me a picture. I didn't want to do any of that. So at the end of the night, they were leaving, and my son Noah was like, hey, will you guys come? They were actually 3 of them were already in the car.
Gone.
And he was like, will you guys take a picture with my dad? And they got out the car and came over and was like, yo, we want to big up you, one, for being a great dad, but also teaching your son hip hop and keeping it alive.
Yeah, real hip hop.
So that's probably one of the most memorable moments of my life.
That's huge, man. You probably still get goosebumps talking about it sometimes, right? I know.
It was crazy that they big upped me just on the part of being the dad, because it goes unrecognized a lot.
Yeah.
Well, I said that before the show, man. That's where my perspective of you is, bro. I see you as a dad and how good you've been and the shit you've gone through, dude. There's a couple times in Mojo's where we share some stuff and it was like, how do you do it?
Yeah, it's been a shout out to all my single dads out there too. We don't get enough recognition.
Nobody ever talks about single dads.
But yeah, before Wu, we had some stuff happen here in town where we had like KRS-One and Dead Prez and Cool Keith. A lot of people came here in town. Wow. Yeah,
I didn't know
that was through the Harvest of Hope initiative that was happening back in the day. And a good friend of ours, Dan Larson, was he was the big chief at the amphitheater.
Okay.
And so they were putting together this Harvest of Hope festival to help migrant farm workers. And they just started bringing everybody. So they had like 6 stages. They had a heavy metal stage with like big acts. They had a hip hop stage. It was like 3 days of stages.
Damn.
Festival, yeah.
And so I was able to get involved with like KRS-One through that.
So tight. That
venue or that event, and linked up with him. And, that was another memorable moment because he was huge in my life. KRS-One was like
the innovator, dude.
Yeah, I was like crazy. And Dead Prez. And so Dead Prez came back about a year later, and we was over, I wish I could remember the name of the place. It was right off West King Street in a back parking lot. And we did this huge Dead Prez show.
Nice.
It was like this pop-up concert, and people heard about it and was like, who? What? They're here in this town?
Well, you just said that too. KRS-One. I never knew he was in town.
Never knew that.
Yeah,
cool.
So, and Diplo, too. Diplo was also their DJ that night, and this was before he was huge. He was just Diplo, you know what I mean?
That's wild, man.
And so, those are some big memorable moments. Trick Daddy last year was huge for me.
That was cool.
Because
DJ, who was their DJ? Trick Daddy's DJ.
Oh,
he came and saluted you. You had him on a shirt. Was it not Nasty?
I can't remember his name. It wasn't DJ Nasty. No, it was another DJ that he had.
Yeah,
but he was really cool.
He did, and he came up and saluted you. And I seen y'all had a little moment.
Yeah, we had a little moment, dapped it up and stuff. But that was big for me too, because when Trick Daddy came out, I was on it, dude. I had Thug Motivation. I had all those singles on, or not, was it?
It was just I'm a Thug.
I'm a Thug.
Get down. Slip and slide, welcome to the house.
I had all of those singles from what Perkins sold me. He had like all those singles.
He was signing them, dude. You had him sign them.
Yeah, so I actually had
his record. You were at the craft festival.
Yeah. So out of those records that Perk had given me, I'm like, oh, I'm taking this.
And it was the one with him grilling.
Dude. Yeah. So, and I got a good picture with him and signed. And that was a huge moment too.
And you turned the crowd up that night, bro. The
that
way
was
he
a crazy
introduced
night.
Trick Daddy was lit.
I remember.
That was a good
lit.
night.
I got footage of it. We put the video.
Yeah, that was a hype video. That was a good night, man.
Yeah, that was, dude.
The energy was flowing that night for sure. And then, dope. You know, I've done stuff like I just got through doing stuff with Nappy Roots. They were here in town. That was really cool. And
Scales. I like Scales. He's good, dude.
You know, trying to put the most memorable moment, I think was that was the Wu for sure.
Yeah.
I've worked with everybody. I've done like so much cool stuff with all the artists that have come through town. I've somehow kicked in the door and made my way involved in
everything.
Right. Like
Afro you guys you did Afro Man too?
Afro Man's coming.
Oh, he is coming.
May 8th.
Okay.
And that's at PK, Prohibition Kitchen. And that's going to be crazy. So he'll be another artist that I'll add to the list of
so dope
of knockdowns when it comes to being a local here in town.
But this has been happening for years, man. You've been meeting these folks. And they bump into you. I feel like you're attracted to this stuff.
Like Wiz Khalifa,
he tells me, he's like, "How did you even get in that area at that time?"
Yeah,
I just happened to be there.
Yeah, it's just, being around the right people, and like we were saying earlier, kicking down the door, not taking no for an answer. Like I've been to the amphitheater where it's like, bro, I live here in town. You know how many events I've done? Like, let me in, let me back there. Like, what's the problem? What do I need a press pass for?
I am the press.
Like
I'm tied in.
And I'm really excited about what St. Augustine's doing as far as the future for artists too. So even though I've had like this peak moment, there's more to come.
There's more work.
Like I'm just way in for the right one. And I've tried to link up with some, I'm not going to say any of their names, but I've been DMing some people trying to do some tour stuff. And there's been some promising leads to that. So hopefully in the next year or so, I might be able to say something.
Yeah.
But it's all off of my own drive. It's all just going, what are they going to say? No.
Yeah.
Right.
I've heard the worst no's all my life. So you telling me no is just.
In the scheme of things. Yeah. All right, next.
Yeah. So, it's kind of like P. I just shot my shot. I see a vision. I see the way things could go. And it's like, it has to start with a phone call, a handshake.
Yeah. Networking.
Or, coming out of your shell and sending that email. Even though like you've reading it 1,000 times before you send it, and you're like, "Is this right? Am I goofy? Am I coming off unprofessional?"
Right?
Hey man, send it.
Yeah,
because all they're gonna be able to do is say, "Hey, we're not rocking with you," or
no,
"Hey, this sounds cool. Let's hear more."
Yeah.
And that's how it starts. That's the key to success, not for just a musician, but for anybody.
Yeah.
You just have to go.
And on this level, yourself, you, me, we're all looking for talent.
Right.
We know how hard it is to hit that wall of no's and we don't have anything for you. So like you'll scramble to try to make things happen for people sometimes.
Yeah.
So a closed mouth will never get fed. So always ask, put your shot out there, and you never know what could actually happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very true. You have to, you have to learn how to vocalize your dream.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
You have to, thought manifestation is very real.
And believe in it.
You got to believe it. Yeah. I've seen people do amazing things, and they're the same people who I would have never thought.
No.
And it's just like, if he can get it, I can get it.
Absolutely.
Like if he can do that, why can't I?
Mm-hmm.
I might have to buckle down and become, to that, raise up to that same level, but I can get there.
Yeah.
The only person that's telling me no is me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And your fear of what it could be.
Right.
So these days I know you're doing rooftops up at Pesca, right?
Yes.
Is that what you're doing?
Yeah. Every Saturday night I'm over at Pesca's. We're doing Sunset Saturdays over there.
Okay.
It's really cool. I love Michael and the whole team over there. They give me a lot of creative control over the music side of things. And I really love that about Michael because, he's created something he's kind of created his own lane.
Yeah.
Even though he's had his own he's been set here in town, but something new is always a hard thing to do.
Yeah.
But it's starting to take off, and people are starting to cling to it. Awesome. Through both of his ventures over there. The rooftop is an amazing view, great food.
Yeah.
And I try to, as a DJ, create this environment that is not just this one kind of thing. It's not like you're going to come up there and, he's only playing Spanish music, or I'm going to go up there and it's all hip hop all night. And I don't like hip hop. I really cater to the crowd. And I'd have to say this is probably the first time in a long time that I've been able to do that. So, and I thank Michael for that, for giving me creative control. Because I always walk in, and before I start playing music, I always look at the people, and I really get into view of what they're doing and try to play this guessing game.
Yeah,
where it's like,
see what kind of goes and what doesn't.
What does that
test
person
the waters
like?
A little bit?
Yeah,
and so and with it being a restaurant and with it being a new restaurant, there's all these variables. So it's like, I don't want to come at them too hard, because I want them to come back to the restaurant aside from me. I'm just a piece of the pie.
Ambiance.
Yeah.
You're part of the format.
So I don't want a person to come and they heard a Nelly record. Grandma heard a Nelly record.
Yeah.
And it said back that ass, or a Juvenile record, or whatever. And she don't like it, and there's a good chance that grandma might not want to ever come back again. I don't want that. I want grandma to be like, oh, this was my song. I was able to get out with my grandchildren, and
show them
this was crazy.
Yeah.
So I look for that. I look to create those kind of moments, and I always tell people, in front of me is the no judgment zone. Come out and shake your God-given self instead of sitting there tapping your foot.
Yeah.
Get on
Look
up.
silly if you feel like you look
come
silly.
on over here and dance with us. You know. And we've been able to create that formula there. It's like, people that are new there, they didn't come there to dance.
Yeah.
They came there to get up on the roof,
check out
what Volano Beach is, have dinner. Oh, well, we came to have dinner, but now we're dancing all night, having drinks, and we're coming back next week.
Absolutely.
So,
that's dope.
And the real special part of it is just having the older crowd come up to me and say, hey, you took me back tonight. Or, you played that one song me and my wife got married to. And it's like those kind of things is what makes it, that's what I'm all about.
Worthwhile.
That's what I do it for. So I would say best party in the city.
Okay.
Right now.
All right. When are those happening on a regular basis?
Saturdays from 6 to 10.
Okay.
Pesca's Rooftop, DJ Natural. And I guarantee if it's your first time coming, you'll leave happy. Promise that.
Okay. There you go.
And so, back to enjoying the fact that I have this creative control over the crowd, not just there, but when I meet people that allow me to do my DJ thing, where it's not like a wedding where play this, play that, play that.
Right. They give you the list. And
just do your thing. Like, even when you see me at gigs or festivals or stuff, I have that creative control. I'm able to be like, oh, I'm gonna
turn it on the up,
right? I'm going on them, right?
Strike it.
And I love that about people, because I feel like the DJ game is very TikTok-ish right now. It's very saturated with outsiders' comments, and a lot of people are hating on the progression of DJing. So it's getting smaller and smaller and smaller, and it's on your phone.
Kind of back where it was original.
And I could DJ a 3-hour set with my phone if I wanted to.
Right.
Craziness.
And like, as much as, I have a little bit of hate for that kind of thing, but at the same time, I big up it because it's progressing the game.
More people are
It's just like, a guy who starts in a garage with a 4-track recorder and a microphone, and now he's in $1 million studio.
Right.
Yeah.
It's the same kind of, so I could really appreciate the overall of, taking on this DJ persona that I have, and really kind of radiating it out to other DJs, whether they choose to do it with a turntable or with a controller. Just do it.
Yeah.
Be good at it.
Yeah.
And don't let nobody tell you, let me come tell you need to work on some things.
Yeah,
but don't let nobody else tell
influence you in a
that
bad
don't
way.
know anything about it. Don't let them, steal your sunshine. Keep doing it, whether it's on the phone, push the innovation, as long as it's not AI controlling it.
Right,
there's
we don't need it,
There's a human element, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
But if you start getting robotic with it, I'm against it. Because
there's 100 million of them.
Yeah, and there's no purity in it.
No.
Yeah.
There's no bloodstream
no soul in there. It's just whatever.
Right.
So you touched on festivals. You were doing the final 90s Fest.
I am. It's going to be exciting.
It's coming up soon. I know you've been talking a lot about it lately.
Yes.
I know you're excited about it.
I am.
This is gonna be great, man.
This is gonna be a big one, dude.
Can I get the camera on me real quick?
Right, yeah.
Oh, yeah, I
Let's
brought
see.
some gifts in the studio this
Oh, here we
morning.
go. There we go.
DJ Natural fanny pack.
That's right. I love
So
it.
gearing
love
up.
it.
Gearing up
For the poster.
for the 90s festival.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
there
brought
you
a few
go. I
gifts
like that
in for the
poster.
boys.
I love how this is like the most current meme going on
Yeah, I had
right
to
now.
jump right on
And
it.
you've got it as a poster already. It's a
poster.
physical
Before
thing.
people can even get theirs created,
If
he's
you
got
want
his
one,
line up
you
in
can
the
DM
flesh.
me. I'll get one to you.
We gotta get those real toys made now, man. That's the next
And
thing.
I got mine signed.
I know. I got mine
You can
signed
see
too,
it
man.
here, but
Yeah.
So, the 90s festival, it's the last year. I'm not going to say too much because I know Miss Janetta comes in every year and she kind of gets a chance to touch on things. I'm not sure if that'll happen, but I'm going to save that for her. The one thing that I'm most excited about that I am going to say something about is the Pythons, brother.
Oh, yeah,
brother. I get to whip out the Pythons with Mr. Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
He's
Oh,
hosting
you
the
need a
event.
DJ shirt where you pull that bitch off when he
Yeah,
goes out.
right.
DJ Natural.
So listen, we have some amazing artists this year, and I'm not going to get on that. I'm not going to get on the artists. I'm going to get on the host because the host is Hulk Hogan, and that's huge.
Host Hogan.
It's host Hogan.
That's right.
Host Hogan.
That's right.
Hogan. We'll call him Hogan.
I still talk like a 4-year-old when I see Hulk Hogan on TV.
Hogan.
Yeah, right.
The Hulkster.
But that's what I'm really excited about.
That's cool, man.
Because I grew up. I'm a wrestling fan.
Yeah.
I love the Hulkster. He's so 90s. He's so 80s, 70s, but
Yeah.
he was like really killing it in the 90s.
Dude, he pulled
too.
up in the Viper with the red and yellow glasses, bro. It's gonna be
It's
game
just
over.
like, so I'm really excited about that. We are going to be doing it at a different location this year. I think some people think that's a bad thing, and some people think it's a good thing. I think it's a good thing because it gives us a little more room to be like rowdy.
Sure.
What you want.
And,
Sure.
like downtown is cool, but it's like
It's tight.
everybody's walking and what's happening over there, and
Yeah.
this is going to be something where it's not only it's the final year, but we can kind of just be more comfortable in the setting of knowing it's not surrounded by a bunch of eyes
Stretch
downtown.
out a little bit and do what
Yeah.
you feel.
Yeah, we can kind of get a little bit louder and we can run around and have a good
And
time.
there's some people in earshot of downtown that aren't interested or want
Right.
to know what's going
and
on.
we
with
have that
so,
problem so much.
Yeah.
You know,
Really, yeah.
there's the people who complain because they live downtown and they can hear your concert 6 blocks away. And it's true. I mean, the water downtown carries that sound
right
all
over.
throughout downtown. Like you'll be over at Flagler College and hear, or
They're at the
even
lighthouse.
farther. You'll be
Yeah.
over at the lighthouse and hear Francisville.
Yeah.
Sure.
You hear
Yeah.
that do 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 do. So I think that's really cool that we're actually going to be at a different spot. Last year we get to like let loose, even though it's the last year. It's the start of something new.
Yeah.
And I'll let her talk to you about that.
Cool, man.
But she's going to be letting this chapter go and opening up a new chapter that's going to even be more exciting, just like you.
Very cool.
So you're closing a chapter. What's coming is even more exciting. We can't all talk about it right now.
Right.
But when it comes,
We all wish we could.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
but when it happens, trust me, you're gonna be satisfied.
Yeah.
And you're gonna be filled with joy for all of us. I promise.
That's dope.
So where do people find you now on the regular? I mean, we talked about Rooftop. Where do people contact you?
Yeah, social media.
All that
you
stuff.
can catch me on Instagram, DJ Natural, Facebook, DJ Natural. With our wedding photo business, it is Mr. Natural's Magic Mirror on Instagram and Facebook. And we do parties. We do weddings. We do corporate events. Also with DJing, if you ever need a DJ to come do an event for you, hey, I'll do those too.
Man. Yeah,
Those too. So, I think that's about it as far as this. YouTube, Mr. Natural, and you can hit me up, DM me. I'm always pretty responsive. I'll try to be, at least.
Yeah.
I'm here for you for your needs. I'll come DJ anything you got. I'd love to.
Oh yeah, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
DJ Natural.
Yeah, man.
Thank you for coming, Brock.
Yeah,
this is great. Appreciate you.
Love you, bro.
Love you too, man. I'm glad you had me. Had me in.
Forever.
Hell yeah, man.
You guys rock.
Hell yeah. Great dude.
Yep.
Solid dude. Great work. Somebody who's going to work hard for the rest of his life doing what he loves, man.
Yep. Real
That's
role
awesome.
model, man. Real good guy.
That's it.
Salute
I love
him.
it. Hey, shout out to everybody right now who made this show possible. Again, Old Town Trolley, All American Air, Bin 39, and our friends at Panache.
Panache.
Thank you guys for bringing this awesome conversation to us. We hope you all have a great weekend, and we'll see you soon.
We out.